Hello, and welcome back to the Thorny Thoughts channel. It's starting to be a trend to be a little thorny, to be a little annoyed, to be a little pissed off. Welcome back to this little boutique of people that just want to be left alone and want to be allowed to think for themselves. Today I had this thought that I'm just so thrilled. I had my husband take a picture of me of how ridiculous I look, but how excited I am. I've been very busy trying to put together something for myself, and it occurred to me that just this morning as I was going into the truck, I realized that I'm so happy because I'm doing some work. Isn't that counterintuitive? I mean, I moved here so that I don't have to be pushed by work, propelled by work. And yet, I'm excited to be going to work. Oh my goodness. And then the next thought that came to me, naturally, is that the elites that own us know this. They know that we are beings that need a purpose. It's irrelevant if it's finger painting, if it's irrelevant if it's, dancing on cabbage heads. If that brings us joy and gets us out of bed every morning with enthusiasm, that's what humans want. So knowing this information, they realized that they can actually profit and benefit from this interesting natural phenomenon that humans have. Humans are they are the gifts that keep on giving, let me tell you. Because think about it. If we naturally, innately have a proclivity to have to feel like we are needed, wanted, we are useful, we are part of something, that need they took and again bastardized it, much like everything else. And they put us into jobs. And for the people that, are extra special, hold on to your pants, careers, okay? Careers. And they tricked us into believing that careers are going to give us so much fulfillment that everybody ran to the doors, exits, and any place that said career. Oh my goodness. I've made myself a tea. I'm stopping and Tell me it's not gorgeous. Oh my God, it's so mysterious. On the one hand, it's a little dark on the left, and on the right side, there's sun competing. Oh my God, it's wonderful. Okay, so they figured out that they can put us in careers. We all ran for those things, and guess what? We have dysfunctional families that actually matter. And because we actually messed up the crap that's important, which is family, we ran for things that are not important, that they made important to us via propaganda or TV or persuasion or nudging. We all ran for the new and bright, shiny things. And now we're left with a society that's broken, hollowed out, and we are wondering what happened. And I was so confused about how excited I was about doing this project, about working, because this is physical work like you wouldn't believe. But it's something that I've always wanted to do, and it's something that brings me great joy. And I realized that it's not the work that we are having a problem with. It is the unnatural, dictated, totalitarian version of work. Because as human beings, we generally do not work for 8 hours straight on something that we are not passionate about. So if you wake up in the morning, you are not going to wake up and go and chop wood for 8 hours if it's not something that brings you joy or gives you some other benefit that you are putting onto it, such as, I'm going to chop wood and that is going to be my exercise for today. I'm going to make sure I stretch during, while, and after. That will be my regime. And as a consequence, I will have my wood chopped. That is a functional, very methodical way of functioning, but that doesn't mean that necessarily you love to chop wood. If you are like my son, who has autism, who is the most wonderful human being that I know in the world, but he has autism. Now you give him an axe and you give him a pile or two of wood, and I promise you he'll go to the 2 piles before he goes to the 1, because he will be salivating to get chopping. So his 8 hours will not look like your 8 hours. You will either have to trick yourself or methodically map out a plan that makes logical sense, or you're not going to do it. Now, what did they figure out? They figured out that they were going to put us on the monetary system, and then that they're going to navigate us into careers that we supposedly want. Like, I know so many, I use that word again. I know so many, sorry, I digressed. I know so many of my friends and family that have careers and are freaking major freaking forces to be reckoned with in the world. And hats off to you. This is not a dig or a shame on anybody who's very powerful and in a career that satisfies them. I do know, and I have several friends that are in love with their careers. I can think of 2 instances specifically that literally just would shrivel up and die if they had to stop doing what they're doing. But simultaneously, the thing that is never, ever not present is the amount of stress that these careers that these friends of mine are passionate about cause them. The amount of angst that these careers cost them, and not because part of the joy and it's, something that's easy to get through. A lot of the things that come up are health crushers and basically burner outer stages. So basically you dance on the stage long enough until you burn your shoes off, and then you're like, okay, I got to take a break from this passion of mine. Okay, a natural passion never becomes like an obsession, like a desert. It shouldn't be so unbalanced. The desert is unbalanced. It doesn't have a balance of vegetation and water and sunshine and dryness. It has just dryness. It's an extreme version of any one thing. And even though it can be beautiful, because extreme things, that's the thing about extreme people. You know which ones I'm talking about, the ones that are always in the media. These are extreme people, but notice they're people that other people can't really get close to because they're extreme versions of the human condition. We, by nature, are more generalists. We're not specialists. And when you become a specialist, the general things fall to the wayside, and the general things are not attainable. Like for the rest of us generalists that are kind of good at making friends and then going and learning a little bit of math, learning a little bit of building, learning a little bit of cooking, generally, like, learning how to maneuver in social situations when someone, behaves this way or that. And when you are in a position where you are extremely focused on one thing, you cannot take your focus off of that, and you can't dabble in this, that, and the other thing, because then you're not focused. So any one person who is devoted to one subject and one subject alone must then mathematically suffer in other areas. They're not going to be good at all the things you're good at, like say making friends or helping people or intuitively knowing when somebody needs your help, or I don't know, being able to network. A lot of people that are brilliant don't really know how to network. They actually get networked around because other people pick up their brilliance. Otherwise, they would probably just be in a cabin somewhere without having showers for 367 days. So I'm just going to take a sip. Oh my God. I will tell you that when I'm more strict with my self and I truly believe that I probably will at times be full carnivore, days here and days there, but for the most part, I'm going to be primarily carnivore, but I'm not going to do what I did, the extreme version. Again, I did an extreme version, but I needed that extreme version. Sorry, I'm taking a little detour just to talk about extremes. Actually, it is relevant if you just bear with me. And what it is that I became extreme. But in this case, in this one particular case, I think I needed to, because my innards, my digestive needed a break. And a year was a really good amount of break. And as a result, I'm able to tolerate basically any food. I've tried every food, and I mean every food. And you have no idea what that means. And people with chronic diseases understand when all of a sudden the chronicness goes away and there's the absence of the chronic whatever it was. So I needed to be extreme. And because I am an extreme personality, working on it, in brackets, I needed that. And for anyone that has a really effed up digestive, I recommend this wholeheartedly. But it has to be like a gluten-free diet, all the way or none of the way. Now I am more generous. I am more kind to myself primarily, not to my body, because my body would prefer full carnivore. But I live in a world of addictive substances, and unfortunately coffee is something I haven't been able to overcome. Tea, I missed, and I don't like regular tea, just for the record. It's just herbal teas. But I haven't invested in very, very good teas without the bags, so I'm trying to work through that, because again, economics trumps logic. Logic would tell me throw all the teas and I have a very large collection of teas. I've had friends that are teetotalers, and I would get tea gifts. And so I just want to say, economically, I'm going against logic, and I am drinking the poison, unfortunately. And it is delicious still. So it's so wonderful that I'm enjoying a cup of tea, and it's mint tea. Oh my God, peppermint tea is one of my ultimate favorites. Although, like colors, I don't have ultimate favorites. It depends on the mood. It depends on the weather. Today, as you can see, the weather is beautiful. It's cold, crisp. Peppermint tea, my God, Lord, thank goodness that you let us find those little leaves. And so I am now being kinder. I am incorporating anything that I am having in my house that I don't think is absolutely horrible. I don't do a lot of it. And also, I am going to eat according to season. So winter will be more carnivore. Spring will be end of carnivore proper. And then what we'll do is summer, when we start getting our harvest, we'll start eating from our garden and from the forest. We'll forage and we'll grow. And even though that's still not as natural as I could have it, I really want to have a little bit of variety, because what happens is this diet is very difficult to keep because of lack of variety. And because we've been taught variety, it's not a natural innate thing. You have to go slowly. So extreme in some instances, all that to say, to frame, extreme measures are sometimes necessary. But for the most part, we are not extreme human beings for any length of time. And because of that, to put us in an 8-hour or a 12-hour or a 16-hour workday, that is putting an unnatural expectation on a biological being. And I'm not sure if one agrees or if everyone agrees, but if you look around, the causality of life is proving that this is a fact. And the reason why is because so many people are getting sick, burnt out from their even careers that they love, that they cherish, that they can't wait to wake up and go do and spend 16 hours. But if you look at all, like I'm looking at some of the things that are happening on the YouTubes and just the general social media, the amount of rot that's happening, the amount of people that have hookered their lives out, unfortunately, and the worst part is you never leave high school, and peer pressure is real, because there have been times, many times, where I was even thinking that, you know what, it might be a good idea to perhaps maybe do that kind of thing and share my journey with the world. But what happens is that becomes a business. Your passion now becomes a business. When you attach money to anything, this is what the elites, back to elites, so I promise, trying to make sense of this. When you attach any money or any amount of, numbers to any job or anything, and then you use those numbers as a way to exchange for your survival, your passion now becomes the very thing that is pushing you, not pulling you anymore. It's a different action. When you have a passion, it should pull you naturally like a magnet. When a passion becomes a business, it starts pushing you, because now if you do not turn the profit each year a little more or a little more, the inflation, because everyone's on the same Ponzi scheme, inflation happens because everybody needs to make more money every year. But see, the thing is in a natural environment, that's not true. You don't need to have more cows every year in order to survive the next year. Only if you're growing your wealth, and that's a different thing. And that shouldn't take 16 to 18 hours out of your day. And it should not kill you. However, in this scenario, if you do not prepare, if you sit back and lay idle and not do anything, much like going to work, if you don't go to work, you'll become homeless. The same effect happens if you do not feed your animals, you do not grow your hay, your straw, if you do not have housing for your animals, they will die as you will, because you will not have a way to survive. They are your wealth. Income is a completely different thing, because as soon as your income stops, so does your wealth. Whereas if you have a cow, if you cease to exist, say, your family still has the cow. So I was just laughing. I'm going to make it brief. I was just laughing that I was so excited about going to work, and I was just thinking how oxymoronic it was. And I've been working on this project. It's also it's in my head anyways, it's very connected to the selling of clothes and used things and recycling and circles of things. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to naturally, almost like permaculture my life. I would like to permaculture my life in a way where I am rolling into things and I am trying to pair things naturally that go together. I don't want to make my passion a business that becomes something that pushes me rather than pulls me. And that, believe it or not, I have realized through this journey of mine so far is a very difficult thing to achieve. I'm reading books, I'm studying. My husband was laughing at me today because he's like, Rose, why are you like, what's up with you? Did you go back to school? But I've been very, very passionate about learning. And that has been my very, very, very most important thing. Selling everything and just giving up the life that I had, where I could just go out and buy anything, whenever. And I'd had to refrain myself, and I wasn't very good at that. So learning is at the top of mind. And if I am able to learn for the rest of my life the way that I'm learning today, then I have had achieved my number one goal, which is when your big responsibilities are completed, meaning children, they're never completed totally, don't get me wrong, but they're out of the house, they're adults. I wanted to take that time to then work on myself, because I know I would have no guilt attached whatsoever once I start doing me time. When I do me time, I promised myself I'm going to be selfish, and I am selfish. Yes, I always try to do my best to help my family wherever I can. I would never let anybody, be left stranded. But I am practicing keeping promises to myself, as you know, figuring out what I want to do, and figuring out how to, and this just came to me now, how to have a permaculture life. Because a permaculture life allows the balance to take care of itself. If you find plants that help each other like siblings, then you have a lot less work. That's why when you put together systems that naturally flow, you have a better chance of success. And that is my aim for my life moving forward. That is my aim for everyone's life moving forward. And I hope I can spread that message. I'm starting to find a better, more accurate idea of my thinking. And I'm realizing that it doesn't come so quickly. It's been 18 months and I'm just really starting to have more clarity in my mind. And that was the thought of the day today. So today's thought was basically, why am I so damn giddy and happy? Like, I got my husband to take a picture of me my first day. It's really not my first day, it's actually my third day, but it's really my first day where I've decided that I'm gonna give this a real go. And I thought that was oxymoronic, and I wanted to work through that thought. It's not as thorny as you would think, but it is quite thorny if you really start thinking about it. Give it a think. Think about how much you would want to do if you had set yourself up in such a way where you penny pinch scraped and you had everything that was used and slightly dented always all your life in the thought that you just wanted to be left alone to do whatever you want to do. And the thing is if you don't know what you want to do, where do you start? So I want to ask you, what would you do if you could just decide to do anything? And I'll tell you what the answer to that is. If you live in a city and you don't have time to think about it, you don't know. And you won't know. Chances are you won't know. And I know this because I couldn't figure it out. And now that I have a moment to myself, 2 moments to myself, I'm starting to get clarity. But it's 18 months and I feel like I'm starting to get clarity. I don't have clarity. I'm just starting to get little. It's almost like an Alzheimer's patient when they come to once in a while and it's very short and it's very brief, but it's really, really profound. That's where I'm at. I'm in those little moments of clarity. Anyway, I am so proud of myself because I do not want to linger more than I have. I have been trying to work on conciseness and it's not going well, I will admit, but I am still moving forward and I'm going to try to continue being concise. I understand that this channel is about just talking naturally. That's the point. The point is When I look at the internet, everything seems scripted. Everything seems unnatural. And even though it is being sold as natural, I don't believe it is. And there are sincere people, there are authentic people, but I am thinking that authenticity is going to be the new currency of the next generation. So I am here to tell you, I didn't script this. I had a thought, I'm sharing it with you as it comes, unfiltered. And this isn't only for you. Actually, this is a lot for me. And I'm realizing in this new position this new business that I'm giving it a shot at. I will tell you this much. When you do something that brings you joy, but actually solves other people's problems, I've heard this a million times, especially on YouTube. Again, I couldn't understand it. Now I understand it, because this thing that I'm trying, oh my God, it's like the business I've always wanted, which is a wedding dress business. You know the feeling that people get in a wedding dress store? That's what I'm looking for. That's my sweet spot. That's where I get my joy. When I can bring people joy that they didn't know they needed, that's where I want to be. So guess what? If you just want to have literally an organic listen to someone that's literally just thinking as they go, yes, sure, I have an idea as to where I'm going. It's slow. There isn't a lot of action. But you know what we do when we talk? We practice the art of thinking. And the person that's listening is practicing the art of listening. I am practicing the art of listening in my life, and I'm practicing the art of thinking and speaking to you as my way of being able to practice my thinking. And if there's anyone out there that wants to join, great! I welcome you. And with that, my friends, I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope they stop deploying the little tic-tac-toe machines, because we have not had sun in a very long time. It's been constipated for a while. We've had better moonscapes than sun rises. All right, my friends, if you have not yet liked or subscribed, I would very much appreciate that. And if you have, thank you. Please comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And until then, my friends, take care.